I think I actually 100% agree with that. I think it's that squad depth is going to be the real killer for them. I think they actually do have some decent players in that defense with Delo playing phenomenal this season.
Who?
Delo. Oh, man. Diego Delo.
Hey, fans. You're lucky I caught on to that now.
Sorry, we'll call it. It's fine.
Says
Sorry.
Tooney over here.
You got to say all that. But then you got players like that. Luke Shaw's having a great season.
One second. You're going to keep it like that?
Yeah. We've got to keep going.
Delo.
Roll with the punches.
He's
baby.
not Burner Boy song, cuz. He's not on D-Lo. Show this guy some respect, man. Say his name properly, cuz.
Perfect.
Where are we?
It's getting colder, guys.
It is.
Mornings are getting harder.
It was like 60. Did it snowed in Belconnen yesterday?
Yeah.
A little
Full
bit.
snow on the ground.
Did you see it at the mall? It was like legit like
People couldn't get out.
Well, my nephew was like sending me photos of him with like, they live in Dunlop, with like snowballs.
Oh, shit.
Like wild.
Yeah, someone said it was like Antarctica. Crazy.
Wow, that cold. God. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good night. You're back with Let 'Em Shoot. I'm Krisa, as always, happy to be here with these guys. To my right,
It's your boy MJ, Born Africa Gang. I'm happy, man. It's another episode, another day. Got to be grateful.
so true.
Who's over here?
over here we have Best Young Chef in Canberra. You know what it is. And yeah, like MJ, the vibes are up today. You know, Chelsea won this week.
Finally.
Finally, the drought's over. No more 007 memes. So what can I complain about? You know, life's good. Life's good.
To his left, PBB, Pretty Boy Bud, back at it. Like Riley said, Chelsea won. Life's good. Back in the winner's circle.
Feels good.
Manchester United are lucky. Top 4 is lucky. There's only, how many? 4 games left. You guys are lucky. If there was 10 games, Mum's life would have come.
That momentum was
Wow.
building.
Momentum was building.
It was.
All right, the Chelsea boys are happy today. We'll see how long that lasts. Shall we run through the YouTube comments from the last episode? We got a lot of love
Yeah, we did
on the
get a lot
last
of love.
episode.
It was
MJ, you
nice.
got one you want to share with us?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, sorry. Bud, Riley, anyone? I've got one. If I can start if we like.
Yeah, you started.
I just really love this comment from Reese Campbell. He said, "Love you guys. Energy, just some friends talking about football," which is
So-
what we do.
Yeah, it's
But we're
nice.
friends that know what we're talking about, that talk about football. But it's just us, hanging out, talking about football. It's a great time. You're right, Reese. And we love you too.
I got a good one.
Oh, God.
This one's not love or anything. This one's just funny. Shout out Jack Cheeseman. I think this is like his 3rd shout out. But he said Haaland isn't scoring on Caltech.
I did see
I
that.
like that one. That was
Did
a
you
good
see
one.
his other one as well?
No.
Cumdog scored the same amount of goals against Liverpool as Haaland. Cumdog equals Haaland. Come on, man.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah.
I got a nice one from Aaron Otero. I think this is on the Chelsea vibe though, because I feel like we were talking about this and he kind of agrees. He said, I'll say it again, until Bowley Lee decides to change his American sports mindset of I have to win now, then sadly Chelsea will go nowhere. He has to allow a manager to come in and give them more than just a year to change things. And unfortunately, I don't see him doing that. So it feels like some of the stuff we say people are resonating with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm
Spot on there.
It's good that it's not just us seeing that. Good that the viewers are seeing this point of view as well.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And like we said last week, we are very close to 100,000 YouTube, God, that would be nice.
100,000. That'd be
TikTok
mad.
followers, very close. And we're
quit my
getting
job.
up to 3,000 YouTube subscribers. So, Bud, what do they have to keep doing?
I got one more shout out actually. This one's a good one.
I'm pretty sure this is the one I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah. Shout out Rilo Rodriguez. If you know, you know. But he said, Bud with a great take on Spurs today. Carry on, guys. One of the best things about Thursdays. Appreciate you.
Sweet.
Another dude said, Bud is different gravy.
Anything else you want to share just about you?
Gravy tastes good. So if you're saying I'm good, pause.
Pause. Big pause.
But yeah. And Coda said, these consistent uploads are truly a blessing. Love to see the growth here and on TikTok. So that tells me this guy has done what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is, like, share, subscribe. Like Coda. Coda, listen.
He did.
He did what I said. And
He
what
understood
everyone's
the
been saying
assignment.
here. Coda, next episode, tell them how easy it was. Tell them how easy it was to like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends. I know Coda definitely told his friends because he listens. So Coda, real MVP, baby.
Did you see what else he wrote? He said, appreciate the shout out once again. I mean, we love you, Coda, so we'll keep shouting you out. Also, Fine Bud made another TikTok account and subbed another YouTube account as well. Are you happy? Yes, we are happy. Be like Coda, everybody.
Yeah.
Or do
Be
another
like
one.
Coda.
Do another one and I'll come to your house.
Doesn't he live in Texas?
Doesn't matter. Texas, baby, coming. Yeehaw, baby. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, he said.
Wait a second.
Oh, good God. Alrighty. So I think we should start by talking about the Prem again. We're coming very close to the end of the season. Very exciting end to the season. In all aspects of the league, we've got, the title race is, getting hot. The top four is yet to be decided. The relegation battle is hot. Everything is just, we're coming into a very exciting end of the season. Firstly, I want to talk about a team that looks like they could potentially be bottling their top four spot. Manchester United. What?
I thought you were talking about Arsenal for a second. Sorry.
No,
You said bottling. I got excited.
Oh, no.
This guy serious?
Real man.
Yeah.
I think people forget that Bud and Riley go for Chelsea. I just want to remind you.
I hope people forget that.
But yeah, Manchester United, another disappointing performance away from home today. They are just really struggling with away games this season. The first thing I want to highlight is the De Gea howler. Riley, I just want to say you picked him as your keeper.
Did I?
For team of the season a few weeks ago.
I don't know.
Excluding,
I don't know if that actually did happen.
we
money
can
today. You're
clip
on the
it if
money.
you like. I just what happened there, do you think?
Look, I think it's just the usual case of De Gea and the Man United effect. Just a real brain fart from everyone involved in that club. Because that goal, it was not a good shot by any means. It was low, and that's probably all we could say about it. It was a P-roller, kind of just trickled in. It looks like he was going to get there, and then he's just hit into his own net. I don't know if he was trying to make the game more interesting and give Rashford some extra stuff to do. I don't know, but this guy, I couldn't tell you what's going on there.
I got you. So what really happened was I got insider scoop from my guy,
Fabrizio.
Yeah, he called me earlier. He didn't call me during the episode. I told him stop doing that shit, man. Got a podcast to shoot. But Fabrizio told me that Ivan Tooney called Ben Rama and said, hey, you need a shot on target, cuz. Doesn't need to go in, just get me a shot on target. And what did Ben Rama do? He had that shot on target. He didn't mean for it to go in. He was getting ready to set up for a goal kick. He was, he went back into his 10 position. Guys in front of him. Next thing you know, ref's doing poop. Go back to halfway. That shit went in.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's just
Crazy.
Crazy.
De Gea has in previous seasons been very important for United, but this season and last, I feel just mistake after mistake after mistake. It's weird to see. MJ, what do you think about his recent form, I guess, the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like he was meant to be the savior, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you look at this season, if you just look purely on stats, people say, oh, he's top in clean sheets. But I think if you deep it, we are seeing a dude who's a bit more prone to mistakes. I think in games where they might need him to step up, he's not really commanding his box. So I feel like if you look at maybe what United needs in terms of changes, do they need a new keeper? That's another question. But yeah, I think especially in this game, that's what cost them the result. And I feel like when it's your one of your senior players, he's been at the club for years. He's meant to be the guy to really step up. He didn't. And I feel like if you're a United supporter, you'd just be gutted because if we look at the form, they're not in form, man. Liverpool hasn't lost in how many games?
6, I think it is. 6 wins in a row.
8 games.
Yeah.
No
6 wins in a
losses,
row.
6 in a row.
You know what's crazy? I actually saw today that apparently United still want to give De Gea a new contract as well. after everything he's been doing, still a new
It's
contract.
so hard because, like I said, like he's been their savior for like, you know, so many seasons, but maybe it is time. I don't know
Yeah.
if this one blunder now, obviously he's had a few more in the past, but is a reason to sign a new keeper. But maybe, what do we think about that going into next season? Like, they obviously heavily rely on players like Casemiro, excuse me, and a few other players. I think we obviously talked about last week about Harry Kane, potentially them signing him. Who does United need to sign to strengthen their squad and to contend and win away games and, you know, cement their top 4 spot and potentially compete for the title?
Well, I think for me, it's clear that a 9 is what they need. Because if you look at just the scoring this year, your top goal scorer is a winger. Your second top goal scorer is a box-to-box 8/10.
Yeah.
I think if United want to really compete, and I'm not saying top 4, I mean really try and push for that title, they're going to need to bring in a big 9. I think that's just the bottom line, because you can't really get away with your winger scoring 16 goals in the league. Because is Marcus Rashford going to score that many goals next season? Maybe, but you don't want to depend on that. You need to depend on a 9 who's going to be able to like put up 15 plus, in addition to your winger supporting and your midfielders stepping in when they need to. They don't have that. And I feel like that's probably what's going to cost them in games or important games this season or even next season, because you can't depend on Martial. You know, he hasn't had a consistent season in years. Yeah. Even when he came on against West Ham, he looked like he's lost his speed. He's obviously not confident.
That guy
He's
doesn't
not really
care.
offering much. He doesn't care. Weghorst, he was never the guy.
No.
They didn't bring him in. They brought him in to try and be the guy to like bring the players into the game. But even then, is he doing that at a high level? Not really. And he's not. He hasn't scored yet in the Prem. So for me, that's the number one spot. They need to be like, we need to bring somebody in. It's just too clear.
In the last 5 games, the last 14 games, Rashford has only scored 5 goals. So is this the real Rashford we're seeing? He did have obviously an amazing start to the season, but they can't, although he's done so well, can they rely on him for future seasons? I don't think he's the guy that can carry the team on his shoulders. So although he did have a very good start to the season, he's not going to be your player, that guy that's going to consistently score, 15, 20 goals a season. So I think, like you said, a 9 is an extremely important signing that they need to make. And also, again, their back line is just a huge question mark for United. They're constantly needing to sign players. Bud, what do you reckon? Who do they need to sign in the back line to cement that back line, that shambles of a back line?
I think there was a lot of centre-back options they could have went for during the window. I think that Inter Milan centre-back would have been good. What's his name? Skriniar would have been a good signing. He went to PSG on a free.
Yeah.
So
It's a big miss for them.
Exactly. I think they need a solid centre-back that will play a lot of games. Like, not so old in age, but just someone solid. So, I don't know. If they go for someone like Tomori, bring him back, you can see he'd probably love to play for a team in England to maybe even boost his chances of getting in the England squad. So, someone like him wouldn't be a bad shout. But I think they need to look outside the Premier League for a centre-back. I think seeing what Harry Maguire's turned out to be like, I think they need just a centre-back that's solidified. Someone that's just all about just defending and doesn't muck around. Maguire's trying to play freaking football like he's like Iniesta or some shit. You see what happens? I don't even trust what's his name in the back line, Varane. And that other idiot's too short to be a centre-back. What's his name? Martinez. Too short, man. 5'6". You go, what game's that? Like, if Weghorst switched teams and played up against Martinez, that'd be disgusting.
Maybe that's what they should do. They should sign Weghorst, keep him, just move him to centre back.
Nah, I don't think that'll work.
Why not, man? 6'7", put him in centre back.
Yeah, it's
He'll be
too
right.
slow, but
Yeah, it's all right. Just every aerial battle, win that.
I think for me, it's weird though, because when you look at it, right now they've got a certified left centre back who's Martinez. I think the bottom line is he's had a good season. People didn't think he was going to be that good. He was decent. But what could be a problem is who's going to be his backup. So I think you need another left centre back replacement, and then right centre back. they've got too much dead wood because Twanzebe's still there, Bailly's still there, Lindelof can play there, Maguire can play there, Varane can play there. So it's like they need to figure out who do we get rid of permanently. They need to go, and then who do we bring in that isn't for next season, but it's for the next 2-3 seasons. Because I think United need to try and develop the team for a longer period of time. Otherwise, they're going to get into this place where they've got an aging squad. They don't have the right kind of youth mixed with experience in the right places. And I think that starts with just fixing up the back line.
Yeah, and they're going to be back where they were.
Yeah,
a couple of seasons ago. Sorry, Riley.
No, it's so good. I think I actually 100% agree with that. I think it's that squad depth is going to be the real killer for them. I think they actually do have some decent players in that defense with Delo playing phenomenal this season.
Who?
Delo. Oh, man. Diego Delo.
Hey, fans. You're lucky I caught on to that now.
Sorry, we'll call it. It's fine.
Says
Sorry.
Tooney over here.
You got to say all that. But then you got players like that. Luke Shaw's having a great season.
One second. You're going to keep it like that?
Yeah, we've got to keep going.
Delo.
Roll with the punches.
He's
baby.
not Burner Boy Songkas. He's not on Delo. Show this guy some respect, man. Say his name properly, cuz.
Come on, say it for me.
What's his first name? You say his first name.
Diego.
Huh?
Diego.
Yeah, now say Dalo.
Dalo.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, Diego Delo.
Jesus. Far out, man.
But then I've seen that they're also linked with players like Kim Min Jae from Napoli, someone like that. I think that could be a real big signing for them. Someone to just really solidify that. And then if they pair that with a 9, I think we're actually looking at a pretty dangerous United squad for next season.
I think as well, luckily for United's sake, even when they're struggling, they are Manchester United. So people do want to go there. So they always have that pool to sign big players.
100%.
All right. Lastly, Bud, are they making the top 4?
Yep.
Yeah, Riley?
Yep.
Manchester United next year will make top 4, yes.
No, this season.
Oh, this year?
Like, are they going
This
to
year.
bottle it or are they going to make top 4?
Nah, this year I think they'll make it.
As a Liverpool fan, I want to say no. But they're versing their hardest game they have left is Chelsea. And they have 3 home games left, which they have been quite good at home.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be biased. I think they will still make the top 4, although I don't want them to. MJ?
I think if they win the next game, they will.
Yep.
If they lose the next game, I think they're done.
You really?
Yeah.
They're
Because
just going to spiral.
I looked at the last schedules they have. All the teams they're versing have nothing to play for anymore.
True.
All of them are like solidified safe or have to be content with where they are right now. They don't move more than a spot
Because what?
up
Wolves,
or down.
Bournemouth,
Both safe.
Chelsea,
They
it
just-
doesn't matter.
they just-
Cashed in.
Fulham, it doesn't matter.
Fulham's
Safe
form,
for
if anything's declining. So
But I feel like surely for pride, they'd be like,
And for
Yeah.
some reason,
We need to
teams
get
just
a
want to
win, so, yeah.
beat United as well. It's one of those teams, like, it's just nice to beat them.
It really is.
they win at home a
7-0
lot.
as well.
They, all their games, they win at home, like we
it
said.
just
I
looks
think
like
that's in their
They'll
favour.
be
it just looks like they've lost form though.
Yeah.
Shout out
It's a
to
scary
Wan-Bissaka though. He's looking like the GOAT.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the guys, it looks like they're tired.
You waited 35 weeks to say that. man. God damn.
But no, honestly, I reckon United might fall out of the top 4.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think Newcastle's staying in and the
Well,
other-
it's Liverpool.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you think Newcastle are safe?
I think Newcastle's
I think
safe.
Newcastle is safe,
Okay.
100%.
They're only 2 points ahead.
Well, they got a game in hand on Liverpool. So if they just win one game,
That's
that
true.
game in hand, then
Yeah.
they're
I think
far away.
United.
Their run's harder, though.
Also, but
Yeah, they do
I
actually.
think they got a hard run.
They've
Yeah.
got a tough run.
we'll
But
see. Like I said, very
I
exciting
see United falling out.
end to the season. Moving on to Arsenal, who have kept their title hopes alive this week with a win against Newcastle. Personally, I think it's too late for Arsenal. Not being a hater, I just think that with those 3 draws in a row, whatever it was, they just allowed City to, do City, and City are in just red hot form. I just feel like it's too late for Arsenal now. But they do keep their title hopes alive for another week. MJ, thoughts?
In terms of the title, it's not in our hands, so I can't say that it's on. I just think that I'm happy that we're putting pressure. Because for me, it's like I would have hated if we lost this game, then we kind of just rubbish the rest of the season. I feel like this was a huge performance in Newcastle away. I mean, the stadium was rocking. The first 10 minutes, the energy was phenomenal. Like, I was like, this team is scary. And that being said, both teams could have scored, but I think we handled that game really, really well. We scored when we needed to. Odegaard, excellent finish. And I think that's probably one of the first games recently where we've kind of managed through the moments of the game where it's like the game state where you need to be strong, you need to be alert, and you need to kind of step up. And we did. Ramsdale, big saves. Odegaard, excellent finish. Defensively, I thought we were pretty good. Yes, they had a few chances. We had a few chances, but overall, I thought, excellent performance.
Yeah,
excellent
for sure.
response.
I don't know, with Arsenal, I feel like this season they at the start cannot take anything away from them. They were phenomenal, but they didn't have that pressure from City. City had a slow start. We had an awful start. Chelsea had an awful start. They didn't have that pressure, but I feel like now, as we've said in previous weeks, that the pressure came on, they sort of crumbled a bit. So, like you said, it's not in their hands. They just have to keep winning and see what happens to City.
Yeah.
With City.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's interesting now that that pressure of finishing first is off them. They start playing better. That's interesting to see.
It's a bit interesting.
You know,
Look, I hear it.
I think someone left the squad as well, and they've started not conceding as many as well. I think that could be
who?
Your guy, Holdinho.
He wasn't the problem. It's the other freak playing right now still is the problem.
Who's the problem?
Gabriel. Penalty merchant.
Yikes.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know if
Finish that assignment, cuz.
This guy's crazy. But look, at the end of the day, I feel like if we had won the league, we would have been the youngest team to win the league. So I think people need to understand that, yes, we had moments in the games previously where we played exceptionally well, had huge lapses, and we didn't get the result. But I think it's the signs of a young team. And I think the more the team stays together, the more we build, we're only going to get better. So I think Arsenal's in an excellent position. We're much further ahead of the progression that we thought we were going to be. But I think there was moments of this season where you're like, if we're a bit more experienced and we could handle this pressure where players didn't know what it was like to kind of be in these moments, that's the difference. And I think once we work through that, getting a bit more experience or players get more experience, I think those kind of things won't happen. Because, I don't think in them games we played bad. I just think we had moments that cost us, the 3 points. And I think that's the difference. The moments where last season we would have lost, this season we end up dropping points. And I think next season that's where we kind of mitigate that from happening and we can control the games from start to finish.
Yeah, and Arsenal, I think they just kind of got good out of nowhere this season. It was just like, shit, okay, Arsenal are the real deal. And I think they are just going to keep getting better. And it will be interesting to see next season. Obviously, Liverpool going to sign players. Chelsea might sort their team out, who knows. And United, like we said before, are hopefully going to sign players and they're going to be, even better next season too. But with the injection of funds and players hopefully looking to strengthen Arsenal next season, what positions do you think or experience or what signings do they need to make to sort of be even better and to compete next season with teams that are going to strengthen their teams next season?
For me, I think we definitely need another certified centre-back. And I'm not saying he has to be like a world beater, but I think there's too much of a drop-off, particularly if Gabriel or Saliba aren't playing. And I think we need somebody who can step in. Kivior's been looking decent, but I think somebody that's more of a high level than him. Because I think, Holding, he came in, he did a job, but I think for how we want to play in that high press, I think we need defenders that are very strong defensively who can handle that 1v1, handle going 1v1. So I think for me, we need a centre-back. I think we need, depending on if Tierney stays, because I've heard he wants to leave because he's not getting game time, which I hear it, but then again, it's like him defensively versus Zinchenko, it's quite big. So it's like, do we look at keeping him and maybe altering the game, like altering the way we play when he comes on, like we did against Newcastle, which I thought he was exceptional? Or do we try and bring in somebody who's like Zinchenko, but maybe is defensively stronger? So I think we definitely need centre-back. We need a full-back option because I don't think, it doesn't look like Tomiyasu's kind of in and around the side. So Probably a right back more than a left back. In terms of 9, it's weird because Balogun's coming back, but then we also have Nketiah. So it's like,
Yeah.
which one do we keep? And does that mean we still bring in a striker? Because I think we do need another striker option, whether it's somebody who's offers something different to Jesus. Because I think good teams have a variety. I don't think it's good to only have like for like, but then again, it's like who's the option? So yeah, for me, striker, a full back, centre back, and I think maybe somebody for Saka. Because I think if we're in Champions League and then Champions League, Premier League, we want to go far in cups. These are a lot of games, and I think we need somebody who can step in on the right-hand side, because I think the left-hand side's looking nice. Yeah. I think midfield's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe a Xhaka replacement, but that's not really a priority. I definitely think, the right side, centre-back, a right-back, and a striker, depending on the kind of striker we can bring in, and depending on what happens between Nketiah or Balogun.
I got a question. You're saying centre back, but I personally think you have one right there and ready to play next to Saliba, and that's Ben White.
I was going to say the exact same
I think
thing.
he is better than Gabriel. I think if you're looking for a ball-playing centre back who knows how to handle pressure even when he's getting pressed, I think he's a much better option. He gives away less fouls. He gives away the ball less than Gabriel. I think if you just move him back into his favoured position, I don't know if that's his favourite or he wants to play right back, but I think he wants to play centre back for Arsenal, not consistently still play on the right back position.
I hear that, but I also disagree, because I think if you look at balance, we get the best balance with Saliba and Gabriel in centre backs. The reason why I say that is, first of all, they both can defend 1v1, and two, in terms of ball playing Saliba is the one who's going to dictate play. He's one that's going to kind of spray passes.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need two guys to do that job. I think the balance is good. And I also think Ben White has made that right back position his. And whilst, he's a centre back by heart, I think he's been able to adopt that position as a right back extremely well. And if we bring in a right back who gives us that, then cool, he can be a centre-back replacement. But I think for now, he's...
But do you think he goes as replacement to Gabriel?
Yeah. I don't see why Gabriel all of a sudden goes to the bench.
Well, you're talking about replacement for the centre-back, and you only talked about Gabriel's position, never talked about Saliba. So I think you guys know that Gabriel of the two is the weakest. So why wouldn't you just play Ben White in the middle? Give him a chance. See what he plays like.
I'm not saying that. I don't think. I'm just saying we need a replacement that is of the level. Because I said Saliba for Rob Holding, so I said we need a replacement that the drop off isn't as big.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying test this guy out in where he's meant to play.
You've got someone there already.
Yeah,
Look,
I'm saying they've got a guy there. Why not?
I agree. I agree.
And then it's a 2-for-1, because then you could just get a right back anyways. And you only have to figure out one position.
Is that what you're saying?
Rather
if you sign
than
a
get
right
two-
back, then
Yeah, if we sign a right back that's
sorted.
elite and that can happen, cool.
Yeah.
But right now, I think we don't need to mess with the system. It's clear that Ben White's been sick as a right back. He's been one of the best right backs this season, in my opinion. So it's like, why would we want to then change that to put him in centre back if we don't need to do that? But I'm saying if we do find somebody who's better, clearly better, and he can slot into that centre back position, I don't mind it. But all I'm saying is we don't really need to fix something that ain't broke. You know what I mean?
I think in big games, that Gabriel guy is very shaky. So
This guy just don't mess with Gabriel.
Just a Gabriel hater.
no, but
Gabriel
it's proven
elite.
though. You can tell he gets shaken up when it's a big game.
Look, for
or
me,
if something happens,
I understand.
he's the one that loses his head the quickest.
I
out of
see
the
where you're
back line.
coming from
Yeah.
because of the Saliba situation. He's got to cover for Rob Holding. He's got to cover for Zinchenko. So I understand he's now being forced into positions where he's got to make tackles where previously he wasn't. Because when Saliba was there, he didn't need to cover Saliba.
very good point.
Zinchenko has been playing well, so now he's got to cover Zinchenko. He's getting drawn out. And I feel like that's why he's getting put into positions where he's making mistakes because he's trying to cover, as opposed to not having to do that. Because maybe after the first 10 games, I think he started to take over. He became our best centre back. whereas Saliba had a drop off. So I think
could
your
be age.
perspective is coming from
MJ
maybe
makes a very
recently.
good point.
But I think he's
But the
been
best
clear.
centre backs are the ones that can handle the pressure, are able to cover, are able to do these other stuff that they're not necessarily needed for. But when you have to do it, they step up to it. And I think this guy, of the two, in my opinion, is the weaker one. I think if it was
Between
him that
him
was
and
injured,
Saliba.
yeah, I think if he was injured and Saliba was the one that had to do this covering and stuff, I think he would have done a better job. Because to me, he's the calmer centre back. And when you're more calm, you're able to think better. You're able to, I guess, adapt to situations better. But this guy, Gabriel, to me, he's very passionate in the way that a lot of things influence him in a game. So whether it's the wrong call, he can get angry. And then after that, he's going to lash out in tackles. He's going to want to do like crazy things. Whereas Saliba's more the calm centre-back that reads the game still no matter what situations he's in.
Yeah,
To me, that's what I feel.
I get what
balance.
you mean though, because I think the exact same thing. I think if the other way around, if it was Gabriel that was injured, I reckon Saliba would definitely play better. But that's because he didn't have to change his role, whereas Gabriel had to kind of change and be that cover person for Rob and all those other guys that were getting slightly more exposed. So for him, that was new, and then that's when you kind of saw him get caught out a bit more than what you would before with Saliba.
No, but I'm saying like Holding still plays. That's what I'm
he
saying.
still plays, but he's still covering for Holding more.
Yeah, I'm saying he would do a better job at that, I think.
You think Gabriel would do a better job?
No, Saliba would
do a better job at covering.
at covering.
Yeah,
The exact same role. I think he
that's what he's been doing though. That's the thing. He didn't have to change his role, whereas Gabriel had to fully change it.
What do you mean cover
When
for Holding?
Saliba-
Holding wasn't on though. No, I know what he's trying to say.
Ravi's saying that Gabriel, he had to change his role to Saliba's role, whereas Saliba would have done
Would have
better
just-
if it was Gabriel who got injured.
But like they said that Gabriel took over towards after the first 10 games. So
I'm just only saying what
yeah, I know, but I'm saying
just-
like they said that Gabriel took over after the first 10 games or whatever. Like after Saliba had that run of being the better one,
Yeah.
Gabriel was the one that was taking over. So I don't think he was covering. I think it was them two just playing their own positions.
I think it
Yeah,
was,
I thought you were talking about when if one of them isn't there,
that's what I was saying.
who would maintain their kind of their standard.
Yeah, that's
Is that
what I
you're
was saying. Yeah.
That's what I said.
You weren't saying that before.
No,
Okay,
I was.
so-
Yeah, you
we
guys are saying
agree?
the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he thinks I wasn't though.
Yeah, you guys said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
is like that's a hypothetical. Who knows?
I know. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'm basing it off this guy being the calmer centre back and
Yeah,
being
which,
able to
which I
handle.
understand, but I think
Yeah.
it works when you have somebody like the opposite next to you, where
Yeah.
you can be the calmer one because this guy's going to pick up the pieces. Whereas I feel like
Yeah.
because Rob Holding was there, it's and we rely on that 1v1 defending. If somebody isn't as strong as a 1v1 defender, then you're more likely to have to cover, which means like you're going to make more mistakes because you're trying to like pick up the piece for somebody else. Which
Yeah.
I don't think is a reflection of Gabriel not being as good. I just think it's a situation where you're playing with somebody who isn't as strong in that, so you can't trust it as much.
Yeah,
On top of Zinchenko not playing well.
but
is
that's
where
what I
I'm coming
mean.
from.
The best of the best are able to adapt to that and still just make it look easy. And I think Saliba would have done a better job at that. Make it look easier or less like panic mode, if you get what I mean. Like I'm saying, if he was put in the same situation and Rob Holding was playing as bad or as defensively open as he is, I think Saliba would have been able to handle that situation or scenarios or whatever a bit better.
That's if Ben White was having a shocker. Whereas I feel like
Yeah, but if you put him but you guys bought Zinchenko knowing he's not good defensively, so why would you put him on that side?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
We bought him not so much because he's a defender, but some of his mistakes have been shockers.
Yeah,
Where,
but
like
he's been doing that at City.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying like he's had moments where he's been quite bad,
I
which
know.
is different. But I know what you're saying, and
Yeah,
I understand
yeah.
where you're coming from.
Yeah, I just think of the two, he's the shaky one, the shaky
He's a
warrior.
shaky warrior.
Interesting.
He is.
You just don't mess with my guy, man.
Hey man, I appreciate good defenders and
All right, moving to the relegation zone. It's looking wild down there. I really don't know what's going to happen. I want to start by asking just a simple question, Riley. Who do you want to go down?
I really want Everton to go down. I've been wanting them to go down as well. I don't know what it is about them, but just Everton, it's not attractive football. They're a team that literally just means nothing to me. I couldn't care less about them, whether they're in the Prem or not. I just couldn't care. And I kind of just don't want them to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who do you want to go down?
For me, Southampton. They stink. And I'm glad they're going down. Like, I think they just need a hard reset. Because for so long they've been producing like quality players for the Premier League. And I think that run's kind of, it's dried up a little bit. I think going down might do something to them, might help them out in a way. But yeah, they're awful.
They
They
really
stink.
are.
They could probably cash in some of these players as well. Ward-Prowse, they could get like 50 for him,
Yeah.
I think.
MJ, who do you want to go down?
I feel like Everton kind of deserve it now
They really do.
because I feel like
Yeah.
they haven't. Last season they struggled. This season the expectation was, we brought in players, we've got intention, we want to do better, and I think it's just not good enough. And I understand they're like the Prem side, the Merseyside derby, which you're going to lose, but at the same time, it's like they shouldn't be as mediocre as they've been, whether that's the manager or the players or whatever. But I don't think they deserve to stay up.
Yeah, it's second season in a row battling relegation. I totally agree. And like you said,
Yeah.
for the league, it's like, you lose the Merseyside derby, but also
It wasn't a derby anyway.
I couldn't care less. It hasn't been the same,
Yeah.
as past Merseyside derbies.
Since
And
Jackie Elka.
yeah, like they used
What a
to
weapon.
look so forward to those games, and Everton's drop off has been awful. And like you said, they don't have bad players. They don't have a bad squad. They signed players to fix the problem. They're still in the relegation zone, so I think they are very much deserve to go down.
Yeah.
Oh God, sorry.
And even like the manager, they brought in a manager, Saunders, who's known to be a defensive guy, solid.
Ugly.
They concede every game. So for me, honestly, when they brought him in, I was like, all right, Everton, they're gonna be solid. They're gonna get draws. They're gonna win 1-0.
Yeah.
But they don't even have that. So it's like you've got Everton now that they're not even able to grind. They can't. They haven't won in weeks.
They stink.
Yeah, they don't deserve it, unfortunately.
They look
Actually,
awful.
to be fair, the other one that I wouldn't mind seeing going down is Leicester. Leicester.
I feel like they need to stay up.
Look, I want them to stay up, but I would like to also see them go down just because of some of the good players that they have. I would like to
hear
see
that.
where they go.
That's a good point. Now, out of the teams that Bud mentioned it before that are looking like to get relegated, what big players do we think are going to make a big move if they do get relegated? So your Southampton, Everton, possibly Leicester, Leeds. Who else is down there? Nottingham. MJ, what do you...
I mean, if we start with Leicester, they've got quite a few.
They got a
I
few.
They would
like-
get
I don't
gutted
think there's
if
gonna be
they
many that
go
will stay.
down.
I feel like you're looking at Madison. For me, I think he's quality. I feel like he's probably been their only kind of shining light this season. I'd be surprised if they went down and he didn't go to like a top 6, top 8 side pretty
Yeah.
comfortably.
I keep seeing that he's linked with Newcastle, so I think that could be a great signing for them.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'd be such a good pickup.
yeah, because I feel like Newcastle, they kind of need that attacking midfielder to support, Grimarish.
100%.
And I feel like he's going to be in that price range where they're not looking to spend too much too quickly.
Yeah.
But I think you bring in somebody like him, that's a big signing.
Yeah,
and
and
even if
already
you play him
comfortable
at
in
his
the Prem.
right mid or your right wing role,
Yeah.
You think Leicester are letting go of that guy? I reckon
They
they're
have a
gonna.
choice.
They're going to take him all
As
the
soon
way
as
down with
they
them.
know they're relegated, bro. They're kidnapping him, locking him out for 3 months until the window closes, and he's gonna wake up and he's gonna still be in Leicester.
him and his agent both go
Yeah.
and disappear.
They're gonna stay, bro.
Well, they sold their one of their best centre backs at the start of the season, Chelsea,
Fofana.
for final.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if you're selling your best centre back,
sold an injured guy for what, 70 mil?
yeah, I feel like they'll have no problem selling everybody. Tillemans is gone.
Well, it's been
Madison's gone.
Yeah, they were saying like they're willing to listen to offers for these types of players already. So they
Yes.
must know that they're
Yeah,
on the
it's
verge.
not looking good.
I saw Pickford signed a new contract. Did anyone see that?
I hope
video
goes
of
down.
him.
Now I hope he goes down.
He I saw a video of him and he was like so monotone. I just want to thank Everton. Like it was like he was being held captive. It was so funny.
I think
So-
he genuinely is being held captive.
I
there.
think so. And it's like, Pickford is the Everton man and like surely he's too good to stay if they go down.
I guarantee you, if they go down, Pickford is gonna still be the number one English keeper,
Yeah,
Oh,
facts.
100%.
which is wild.
Facts.
Wild. But even you go.
You know what's crazy? Sorry. Going back to the Leicester thing real quickly. No one saw this coming at all. I think this is why they're so far down. They saw, what's his name? One of the Schmeichels
Kasper Schmeichel.
to freaking Nice. And no one knew about this. This flew under the radar.
No,
I didn't.
No one talked about it.
No, we spoke about
Yeah, I
this.
sent it in the chat. I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck is this? But then, no one's talked about their keeper being the problem why they're losing. This guy's conceding stupid goals. Stupid goals.
It is pretty bad.
And who they bring in? What's his name again?
Ward.
What? This guy was saving it and it
Old
was still
man
going
Ward.
in.
No, there's another kid. What's the other keeper's
Hennessy.
name? He's got a funny name.
Oh, I can't remember who it was.
But yeah, nah,
That's why
They-
they're so far down.
yeah, they had a howler. They had a
They're
stinker.
dropping
They
so
really
many
did.
points.
Do you think they've already accepted defeat? They're like, we'll just slowly start to get rid of our good
Yeah.
players and see what happens.
But that was a shock to me, letting Kasper Schmeichel go like that.
Well, it's weird because it's still kind of close because Leicester have a game in hand and they're on 30 points. Smithies, yeah.
That's a
Smithies is the
horrible-
guy.
God damn.
So they could still stay up because Leeds 30 points, 35 games. Nottingham 30 points, 34 games. So I feel like they could stay up.
They could.
It's weird that they have that energy where they're like willing to like let things
Yeah,
go
that's
because
silly.
to be fair, like the team's good. But yeah,
and
I
we've
feel like
said it
they've
in
got
previous
players.
weeks too. Leicester was always sort of up there and their drop off has just been
Crazy.
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah, phenomenal.
it's going to be a big shock to me if they go down. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I love the relegation battles.
It's
I
crazy.
don't know about you guys, but at the end of the season, I'm like, oh, I just want to put on the relegation battles. They're almost like grand final matches every game. They're so exciting to watch. So
Big players.
That and the
might go down
championship
as well.
playoffs are so good to watch.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a couple, yeah.
I'm keen, like, if Southampton go down, they've got some pretty nice dudes in there.
Yeah.
Do.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. In what way? What way, man?
What do you mean by that?
Well, relax.
So, Bud, if Leeds go down,
Yeah.
what players do you think could, like a club could sign and they could stay in the Prem?
With Leeds.
Leeds or Southampton, any of the bottom
I reckon
6 teams.
there's
I don't
a
like any of them.
Really? I
You
like
wouldn't
Nonso.
sign any of them?
Nonso.
Somerville looks good.
Somerville, I really
I reckon
like.
he could be in like a mid-table team.
I think they're
He's
championship players.
You
man.
reckon?
Yeah, I don't.
Somerville is not.
None
Bud's
of
not
Leeds
rating
players.
any of them.
No, I don't
None.
think. Not even Weston McKinney. I think he could be the only
Rodrigo?
one. Ooh.
He's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, maybe Rodrigo and Weston McKinney. That's it. I don't like anyone else at there.
Really?
Maybe their keeper. But that's his thing.
Elliott has to stay up.
I think he does.
For me, Leeds have a lot of players that could easily stay up. I think they're a product of just a lot of management changes and a weird period where they just couldn't gel together because they brought in like quite a few players as well. But in terms of quality, like they've got dudes I reckon could stay at mid-table teams comfortably.
Even Aronson could definitely stay.
Yeah, Aronson could stay in the Prem.
Yeah, they definitely have some good players.
So yeah, like, you know, I feel like
Would you guys pick up any?
Arsenal,
Yeah.
to be honest, I could take it. Depending on the fee, I could take Rodrigo. I feel like he could play. He gives us that Trossard vibes. Like he could play
Oh, yeah.
nine.
He can play wide as
He
well.
could play wide. I'd take Nonto. I feel like as a squad player,
Right
you
wing,
you
yeah.
get a lot from a winger like that. Somerville, another squad player. You know, bring him on. He gives you that.
And
Yeah.
I think
So-
some of those guys would be happy, like being a squad player in a big team after dealing with what they've dealt with at Leeds and teams like that. You
Yeah.
would take that and just run with it.
And even Melier, like if you're a team where you're trying to like even like a Brighton, not Brighton, but a Brighton where you want to
Play out.
play out. He's
Yeah.
perfect. He's a great shot stopper.
That's true.
He's young. I think he's got a lot of potential. I feel like that squad's gone. As soon as they go down, half is
Yeah.
gone
Yeah.
for Leeds. They probably have one of the best squads I think in terms of like players and potential. I reckon Southampton. You were talking about your guy as well.
Yeah, I think Nottingham do as well. They've got a
Nottingham
couple,
have a lot.
but that's a stinker for Nottingham.
Well, because then
How
half
cool-
their players are going to have to go because they won't be able to keep half of them.
Yeah,
That's a
Navas.
big
Imagine
squad.
Navas in Championship. Well, I know he's on loan, but imagine the loan was for a year. Imagine him in
You
Championship.
got Dean Henderson that will be going down.
That's
You got
crazy.
some
From
decent
United
names
to
in there.
Championship.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
crazy.
But yeah, we need it. If Southampton go down, Romeo Lavea. I even like Elianusi. I think he's nice.
Yeah,
Bella Kotchap. He started well, kind of faded, but I feel like he's got too much potential to be playing Championship. I feel like he'll get picked up, even if it's back to Germany or Spain.
I think even Bazunu, the
Yeah.
goalkeeper, I think he's had a pretty decent season, even though they're
Yeah.
dead last, but he's not a bad goalkeeper.
Yes, it's kind of weird. Like a lot of these teams have like quality and young quality, so it'd be interesting to see like
Yeah.
what happens with their kind of futures if they do go down. But yeah, no.
Exciting times.
Who do we think is going to get relegated? If we're going to lock in the top three,
Yeah.
sorry, bottom
Bottom
three.
three.
Looking at bottom three.
I
I
think
went-
for me, I'm going Southampton's. I think they're done.
yeah.
24 points. There's no coming back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
And they look done as well.
I'm
They
going to
got-
go Everton.
Really?
I reckon Everton's going to go down.
Yeah.
They have a game in hand, but I'm unsure. I feel like they play negative football.
Yeah.
They also concede goals. For a manager who's known to be solid, they fight. They're not really fighting. They're conceding a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a bad sign. I feel like Everton's going to go down. And I think for the last spot, I don't want it to be Leeds, but it feels like it's going to be Leeds.
Yeah.
That's my list exactly as well.
Me too. I feel like Leicester are too good, and I know they have a bit of a tough run, but I feel like they're going to stay up.
Yeah.
Everton they're not it. I'm
Wow.
going to go with you. Bottom three.
Yeah.
Southampton, Everton, Leeds, Nottingham. I feel like have one more lifeline. They're gonna survive somehow.
Nottingham seem to get results somehow.
Yeah,
the
they
weirdest
do.
little ones
They
that I
do.
think it
Yeah.
will save them.
Randomly. And I,
I
feel
think
like
I think all they need is one as well. I think some of these other teams are struggling.
I think that Everton have that game in hand. I think they're staying up. I think it's
Really?
going to be Southampton, Leeds, and Forest. I see Everton
Fair.
staying up.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. If Everton stayed up, they really should stay up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you look at Nottingham, they beat Brighton
Yeah.
like 3-1.
Yeah.
Like they beat Brighton. So I feel like they've got that weird energy where against the Chelseas,
Yeah,
they could do
that's true.
3-0 at home.
And there's something about him. I just kind of like him. Like I think it's just nice to have someone different in there that I wouldn't mind seeing, like an Everton just going out and then having a new name there.
Yeah.
Something like that I think is cool.
They got Chelsea and Arsenal in the
I
the
didn't
middle
even see the last.
middle two games. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's Nottingham.
That's
Yeah.
that's Nottingham.
They got
Everton have to
Southampton
verse
tomorrow.
Brighton and City.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's true.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, some
Nah,
big
yeah,
games.
it's not
These bottom
Interesting.
teams have hard games.
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Jesus.
That's making that more interesting again.
Yeah.
Leeds.
I reckon it could just literally come down to the last game of the season.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I'd love
Love
to
that.
see
That's
that.
the
as
best
well.
All
day.
same time. You don't know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
That's
You
the
just gotta
best.
win.
Love the
Just
last
put on
match
goal
day.
rush and pray.
I remember back in the day, I can't remember who was getting relegated, but I remember it was back and forth till like the last minute and somebody scored, they went down. It was,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Imagine being a fan of the
relegation
stadium
Yeah,
game.
that'd be sick.
and
You'd
you're
have a
like,
heart attack.
yeah, like I don't know if I could do it, but
Nah, that's different level of stress
Yeah.
right there.
but I want to move on to Champions League now.
Yeah,
Champions League season, semi-final season, big games.
Big games.
I feel like the one people are keen to see is that Real Madrid, Man City.
Yeah.
People are saying, Guardiola's a big bottle job. He bottles the Champions League. He's been in 10 semi-finals.
Yep.
How many Champions Leagues won? Oh, he's won more than that. 2.
Oh,
won 2?
sorry. I thought you meant with City. I said 0, but my bad.
Yeah, he's won 2. He's up against the guy who's done it 4 times.
Mr. Champions League.
Mr. Champions League. Oh, wait. Zidane might be Mr. Champions League for Real Madrid.
yeah. I
But
think he is.
Ancelotti is probably Mr. Champions League. Who's won it more than him? Nobody.
Ancelotti is probably the original Mr. Champions.
Yeah, the
Zidane's
OG.
like the replica.
But the junior.
But
Duplicate.
how do we feel about this fixture? I feel like it's going to be extremely interesting because I feel like this is a City side where a lot of people are tipping to be the best.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, they're pretty much unbeatable right now. They've got the perfect squad, the perfect rotation. They're playing at a scary rate. How do you feel this game's going to go? Bud, what are your thoughts?
You know what? I feel like, firstly, I think Real Madrid are going to go through.
Oof.
I think
Straight sets?
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's going to be straight sets. I think they have the first home game.
Yeah.
So I think if they go there and set the tone straight away, like they get a good win, I think City at home, there's no atmosphere there. So I think if Real Madrid do win that first game by 2 goals, I think it's going to be too much for City to come back from. I think their home support doesn't help them at all. I think they are going to be defeated if they lose away first. I think if it was the other way around, maybe they might have had a chance, but you'd rather be get a result away that's like in your favor. But I think Real Madrid is just they're going to be too strong at home for them. I think that's just going to kill the game for them.
Right, do you agree?
I tend to agree. I think Real Madrid's going to win it, and I think whoever's winning this fixture will win the whole thing. But I think that atmosphere at the Bernabeu is just insane, that it's going to be so hard to beat and compete with.
Yeah.
And I think it could be a decisive enough scoreline in that first game that's just going to completely settle it.
Yeah.
And after
I
that,
just
it's
think
too hard.
with City, even when they've been red hot in the league in previous years, they always manage to bottle it in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I know they're a different beast this season, but Real Madrid are Real Madrid in the Champions League, and they have been faultless this season in the Champions League. So it'll be exciting. I think it'll be close, but I do feel like Real Madrid are going through. I would have liked to see this game as the final, but I mean, we'll see what happens. I definitely think Real Madrid are going through.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I feel like this year it does feel a bit different for City. I feel like they look like it's a different mentality. Whilst Real Madrid are they're built for this, they're made for this. I think as a City fan and as a City player, I feel like you want this kind of draw where you're away first, because I feel like if they get the result, I feel like it's done. I'm tipping. I think it's going to be City who win the first game, and I think they could get a draw at home and take the tie. I'm tipping City to win this. Whether they win the whole thing, that's a different story. But I think in terms of this game, I feel like they might have it. I don't know. There's something about this team where the options they have on the bench, the starting team, the different types of ways they can play, I feel like it's set up perfectly. If they don't win this time, I'll be shocked.
It's the perfect time for them to win, but just something about it. It's just Man City and just bottling it kind of just goes like hand in hand.
I'd just love to see them not to win the Champions League again.
If they don't win, like, happy days, but it just,
I see what you're saying,
it
though.
feels.
Do you guys think that them having, I guess, them being in 2 competitions still, that might prove to be the thing that, that's going to be the cause of their downfall in the Champions League?
The fact they have to play the FA Cup as well, we mean?
Like
Or
FA
like
Cup,
Still got
Premier
the Prem.
League,
Oh, right.
whereas Real Madrid are
Well,
the league's
like
classes.
MJ saying with their squad, I think they have enough squad depth to sort of see that through.
I mean, like their eyes are focused not on just
Not
one
just
thing.
on that.
I think it's like here.
Because I think Pep would be like so into it. He wants to win this.
I think this is his
He's been
main thing.
chasing it
Yeah.
for so long that he'll be focused on this more than anything. But I think they're probably one of the only teams in Europe that have that sort of squad depth, which makes it so hard to, even though they're in this many competitions, who cares? They got like for like players that can just come
It never
in.
seems to affect City.
Yeah.
Real
City's just
Madrid
that
have been
team for
resting
it.
everyone. Like no one played in the game over the weekend. No one. Like Vinny, Benzema, even their centre backs. Rudiger didn't play. Who else? None of their midfielders, like the Modric or anything.
The cup
Yeah, the cup
already.
final.
Yeah,
But I
nice.
think they want this. I think
Yeah.
I think when you got a Real Madrid team that's like they're only focused on this now, I think they're gonna like
It's going to be hard to beat.
I
Yeah,
think it's gonna
for
be
sure.
very hard to beat them, especially
True. Oh, no, I agree. I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
great matchup.
It'll be good. It'll be such an exciting game either way.
I see it going
I think it could be a goal fest. to
three,
be honest.
three,
You reckon?
3-1.
I
First
think it
game,
could
I
be.
think it's going to be 3-1.
Something,
3-1 to Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think
I
there's
feel
going to
like
be a lot of
it's
goals.
going to be a high scoring.
yeah. Something about both teams, like defensively, I'm just not too sure on them.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a real goal fest. And I'm all for it as well.
Who's
Oh God.
who's stopping old mate?
Ireland.
Oh,
Vinny.
God.
He's running at Ake, isn't he?
No, Kanji.
Kanji. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. I can see.
And does Pep? I think Pep's going to get in his head again. Does he bring in Walker for Vinny? Does that disrupt the back line because he hasn't been playing as much? I think Pep's going to do his head again.
Pep, you reckon Pep's going to do funny
Yeah.
business?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
I
going to do
got
funny.
I got
What is
some.
what
I
a
got something
production
for y'all.
giving you there, MJ?
I got something for y'all. This is crazy. Dimitri Sulek, he stated that Yaya Touré's agent has confirmed the curse has been lifted on Man City and they can now win the Champions League.
That's it then.
Oh,
This
don't need-
seems like a bud fact.
maybe we're going to change.
We don't need to do this segment anymore. I think we all know what's going to. City are winning, guys.
What the hell?
3-0 in the Santiago.
Oh my
Benzema,
days.
In the
Vinny, they're not scoring. They're
Santiago.
getting clamped. Then they're going to go home. Haaland hat-trick, 6-0. 6-0 aggregate, game's done. That's it.
6-0 aggregate in the Santiago. That's
All right,
crazy.
just quick. I want to do a little combined 11.
Ooh.
Okay.
City, Real Madrid combined 11. We'll do 4-3-3.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And we'll start with the goalkeeper.
Courtois.
I think I'm going Courtois as
Yeah.
well.
Courtois.
I'm going Courtois.
Yeah.
Are we going Champions League Courtois?
I'm going Champions League final
it's
last
close.
year against us, Courtois. I will never
Man.
get that performance out of my head.
If you look at the league, though,
I don't know. I still
you think Courtois is a better keeper?
think it's Courtois, but I think it's definitely close. It's not an easy one because they're both excellent goalkeepers. But just something about Courtois is
I think
Yeah,
for
in the Champions League in these
For a
games.
system-based team, you could say Edison. But if it's just like a combined and you don't know what you're going to get, if you're just going to get a back four of just normal players, I think Courtois is a better option.
So we're going Courtois?
Yeah.
that height's just hard to compete with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to go Courtois as well.
Unanimous.
I like when it's unanimous.
All right, let's go right back. Actually, no, let's go left back.
That's very interesting. Who is it? Is it Camavinga up against?
That's what I mean. It feels like Camavinga's been kind of playing that role.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Ake. I think Ake is... If it's
He's been
Ake
scoring
versus
some goals
Camavinga,
too.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's been scoring
What
some
other Real
goals here and
Madrid
there
options
too.
do we have at left back, realistically?
That have been playing or just what they have?
What they have?
Is Mendy
got
still
Mendy.
available or?
That's it.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Yeah, Alaba.
Alaba.
You say
Hey, you need to be stopped.
I reckon if you look at this season, though,
I think.
Ake's been
Yeah.
probably one of the best
He's been
I think Ake's had a
Great.
left
phenomenal
centre
season.
Solid.
Yeah.
left backs of the league.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been very good. I think in terms of system, he probably could fit in that Real Madrid side, no problem.
Yeah.
But Camavinga, he's kind of been doing bits on the left hand side.
He has been.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as goalkeeper. I think like it's really close, but I think Ake would have to take this one. Just this year, how he's been playing is just phenomenal for him. He looks so composed, playing out defensively. He's been solid. It's kind of hard to compete with.
Yeah,
really.
I think he's fantastic. I'm going to go with Ake.
Do we agree production? I think Ake it is.
Yeah.
For me, I think he's just been elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely, his level's just been super high this season. So I think he deserves that. Let's go centre back pairings.
Oh, God.
Is Rudiger still your guy or not really?
Yeah, have to. I think I would go for Rudiger and Diaz
Rudiger and
My two.
Diaz?
as my two CBs.
Do we say, does Stones get a
Mr.
shot?
Erratic.
Oh,
I was going to say Stones. He's
Militao?
been...
I think
For me,
Stones has
I'm
been
not
so
talking
good
about
this season.
Diaz. I'm not sure if
I
Ruben
would
Diaz
I
is
think I
No,
might have to change
I
it
would
to
say that he
Stones.
hasn't played heaps.
and I don't think he's been the main guy.
No.
Yeah.
I think I've been more impressed with for
Stones has
City,
been better.
Ake, Stones. He's been exceptional. I think you could get more out of Stones.
Yeah,
this season
definitely.
as well.
Yeah.
But then on the Real Madrid side, we got Rudiger, Militao, who I'm
Alaba.
probably Alaba.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going Militao and probably Stones for this season.
Okay.
How do we feel?
I
What do we say?
agree.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I was going to say Stones or Rudiger or Militao. I'm going to go Militao. Rudiger's he's a bit erratic. You just really don't know sometimes.
Yeah,
What you're gonna
I
get from
personally
him.
would go for Rudiger and Stones. Now that you mentioned Stones, but I don't. Yeah, to me, I don't. Of the two Real Madrid centre backs, I think he's better than Militao. That's my choice.
Do we agree?
Militao is a bit erratic. I do see where you're coming from, but I don't know. Something
No,
about
fair.
it.
No, I'm not going to argue. Like, if Militao's the guy, then that's it. I think he's good. He's obviously a good
Do you reckon
defender.
they'll play Militao right back to shut down
Ooh.
Grealish?
No, I don't think so.
Or do you reckon he'll just stay central?
I'm
think
kind of
he'll
surprised that they don't do stuff like that.
They do.
They
They
should.
do.
They need to be doing it more
And then
often.
you mean
because that
and
would-
start Alba in the middle with
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do that.
But in this instance, are we happy with Militao and Stones?
Yeah.
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 What are we saying for right back?
What is it? It's a Kanji verse.
Yeah, who's playing right back
Carvajal.
first?
Carvajal.
Ah, yes.
I feel like it's got to be. What are options are there? That's pretty much it.
Walker.
I feel like
Walker.
both of them, surely.
I think both
Yeah.
of them are kind of better.
Yeah. But would you choose Walker over Kanji now?
Nah.
No.
I
Or
think,
are we
yeah, if it's
going-
based off, yeah.
Because I feel like Akanji's had a great season.
He has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's really had any games where he's been too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give him his flowers.
Gonna give him his flowers.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. The only version of Walker I'd take is straight out of Ibiza Walker. When he's coked up and shit. I think
Oh, good God.
he'd be the best. Best
Allegedly.
CB. Or he's having them sex parties.
No.
I'd take that Walker.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Hey, let's. Walker's not in the
you gotta remember this.
conversation.
What?
Who has to edit this?
It's not allegedly. Do you see that? It's not allegedly anymore. He got done for it.
Jesus Christ.
Still
He literally had to apologize.
Let's quickly jump into the midfield.
We have so many good midfielders to choose from. Good God.
What's
this is
everyone's-
going to be hard.
Can we do a trio? Can we just, for first time ever in draft history, let's do a trio.
What does that
Pick
mean?
your three. You just pick your three raw, just straight.
Straight in. All right, let's talk
Pause.
about. Before we do that,
With the balance,
let's talk
everything.
about what midfielders are available.
Oh, yeah.
From City,
Jesus Christ.
Endless.
it's endless. Rodri,
Rodri.
Gundogan,
KDB.
Far
Good
out.
one.
KDB.
I don't want to do
God
this.
damn, yeah.
Already, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's your three.
And then if we look at Real Madrid, there's
What's his name? Champions League Valverde.
Oh,
Valverde.
you
That
love
guy's
James
different gravy.
Valverde.
That guy's different gravy.
How is he?
Do you reckon no?
Is he right winger? Or
That's what I mean. In this debate, would you rather him be a right wing option,
I'm
or
saying
do we
he's
say
right wing for him? Right wing for Valverde.
Oh, this is
or
too.
do we make it difficult?
I think he has to be in the list, though. That's the thing.
And are we saying...
What are we saying? Production is Valverde? Are we midfield? Keeping him in midfield?
Yeah,
Right?
He has
Fair.
to be on the right wing.
And then are we saying, if it's based off form, like Modric and Cruz, have they been performing well? Like, is it,
Modric is
Modric's
good.
always.
Modric has been a G this year.
Cruz, I don't know. I don't know about Cruz.
To-
Yeah.
Ceballos, of course you would.
I think if I had to go three, I'd go Modric, De Bruyne, and Rodri.
Yeah, I think that's my three.
yeah.
I think it's a solid.
Is that your three?
Yeah.
I love Luka Modric. I can't not pick him.
I
Yeah.
think he's clear.
He's 100%.
I think you'd have to be
KDB is
mad
so
if,
clear.
If KDB is
on
not
this
there.
list.
yeah.
Damn.
But is that Rodri? Are we saying Rodri? Has to be clear. Ceballos? No.
Well, who's
Well,
who's a who?
Chouameni.
Chouameni versus
Chouameni,
Rodri.
Chouameni's also had a
That's
good
clean.
season, but I think
Yeah. it's-
I think Rodri has to be.
But Kama big guy.
But he's been more
Camel's
than that.
left.
Yeah, that's
kind
true.
of.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be. I think the midfield has to be Rodri, Modric,
Modric
and then
KDB.
KDB doing his thing. I think it's gonna get interesting in the front three though.
That little ginger.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Should we do the front three in change the 4-4-2? Should we do the front three in one go, or do we want to talk
Maybe
about
we-
each side?
Maybe talk about
sides.
each side. Yeah.
All right, let's go right side.
So we've got what Mahrez,
We got
Mahrez.
Mahrez.
Valverde,
That's hard. Rodrigo.
Bernardo
Bernardo
Silva.
Silva.
Good God.
And Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo's been
Of all of
balling.
them, the two that have been, I guess, in form most recently have been Mahrez and Rodrigo. I'd say.
Are we agreeing with that?
Yeah, I think he's been.
Are we
so
saying Bernardo Silva has been better than Mahrez?
I think so. Better than Mahrez.
But has he been playing
I think
consistently?
he's had more game time than Mahrez.
That's what I'm saying. First touch Mahrez is different. Different gravy.
Different gravy.
Gloves with short sleeve Mahrez, different gravy.
That's a weird
That's-
drip, I reckon.
That
What
is
we
a
say?
weird drip.
That's
yeah.
weird drip.
That's
I've never
weird
said the
drip.
word drip before, but I just agree.
Yeah. And 80th minute, 2-headed goals, Rodrigo, different gravy.
Yeah.
Like, you got all these options.
Damn, that's actually
Nightmare
hard.
Rodrigo.
Exactly.
Wow.
I really don't know. This
All right,
is a hard one.
so for City, we're gonna say, oh, we have to choose. Are we choosing Mahrez or are we choosing Bernardo Silva?
And then there's Valverde.
Yeah, Valverde's there as well.
I think we go Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, I'm going Bernardo Silva.
Really?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
For Real Madrid, what are we saying?
And then we can match them up.
If the game's only 20 minutes, I'd go Rodrigo.
If it's the last 20 minutes
Only 20
Yeah.
minutes.
20-minute game.
for a full game, I think for me it has to be Valverde.
And just Champions League Valverde this season has been
Different.
different.
Yeah. Didn't he get abused by some guy and he came back and scored or some shit in the league? I read something like that somewhere. Some guy abused him and he waited for him. No, he waited for him outside the thing and punched him in the face.
Did he?
Valverde
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. After the most recent league game or something.
All right, so we're gonna go with. Are we happy with Valverde?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
All right, between Valverde and Bernardo Silva.
I
I don't want to
think
choose.
it's.
I
I
have
think it's
PTSD from the left-footed's episode.
you know what? I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm going Valverde, baby.
Valverde.
I think it's almost just picking. Yeah. I think it's Valverde. Valverde.
I
He's a
made
bit
him-
more exciting and like, I don't know, unpredictable, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I like.
Yeah,
I think I like Bernardo Silva. But
Do I make it interesting and tie it up? No, I'm kidding.
I think
Yeah,
Oh,
do it.
no, I'll go Valverde.
Yeah, no, do it.
Mitch Valverde.
fair call.
Yes.
All right, left
Yeah.
side. I think for me it's got to be a no-brainer.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Grealish
are there any
doesn't
debates? Does Oh, you say Grealish?
No.
Does Grealish get a shout though? Because to be
Yeah.
fair, this season we could
has
argue
been
he's been
better.
one of City's best players.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I think his levels far higher than last year. I think he's been extremely influential in a lot of games. And I think, he's a lot of people's opinions have had to be changed because, he's been
100%.
excellent.
Yeah.
But we're looking at a guy like Vinny who's
He doesn't.
I don't know
grade.
how many people on that left. I don't know how many players on the left hand side are really on this guy's level or better than this guy because he's phenomenal.
So
I think he's the
good.
best at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Look how many right backs he's just
He's
claimed.
violating.
He's
Taking
claimed everyone.
bodies, man.
Yeah.
But
Beanie,
it has to be Vinny.
100%.
I think it's unanimous.
Yeah.
Unanimous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it gets interesting.
I think that's an easy.
This is going to be hard.
For that nice spot,
Pause.
Wow.
what are we saying? We got one guy who's.
You know, I want to hear Riley's first, actually.
You want to hear mine first? That's the
Yes.
thing. I don't know. It depends what we're looking for. If we were doing this on like how we wanted the team to play, or if then it could make it a bit easier. But if we're just going straight goals and you got to go Haaland, I don't know, mate.
Hey, man, I just want to hear your answer, bro. Like, whatever you want to say.
You want me to lock it in right now?
Yeah.
Locking it in right now. I want Haaland. Haaland is my striker.
Are we saying what the most recent Ballon d'Or winner?
I know it's tough, but I think if
He came off the back of the greatest. No, not the greatest, but a huge one of his best or his best season.
Mm-hmm.
His best Champions League season.
And him in the Champions League is just
Different.
different. He's
Third top goal
so
scorer.
good, like in general, but in the Champions League. And Yeah, I have to go Benzema. You have to.
Riley, I got a question for you.
All right, man, go.
I like the
Shoot.
for Benzema, Crystal, but I got a question for you.
Okay, yeah, go.
Who's a better player?
Benzema's a better player.
Benzema's a better player.
Benzema's a better player, but a better goal scorer, Haaland.
Haaland's a better goal scorer.
Haaland. And I think if you were looking at this team playing an actual game with Modric and De Bruyne and Rodri in that midfield, I think Haaland would be scoring more goals for you. I think that just those guys would work for the team. And I think with him in that system, you'd be scoring way more goals with Haaland there.
Question though, does having Haaland there prove detrimental to the likes of Vinny and who's right?
Valverde.
Right, yeah. Well, not so much Valverde.
I don't
I
know
think
if
he can play whatever.
I think it does a bit because a lot of that Real Madrid link up is between Benzema and Vinny, and they kind of work on that side
Yeah.
and take defenses out that way. But I think if you have those midfielders, then those guys can afford to play a bit wider and then just really attack that side. And then if you're just crossing it in, or Vinny's some of his cutbacks when he's taking on players one-on-one and then cutting it back in, I think it's just you can't really defend that. It's so hard, as he's proven this year. So I think with Haaland there, just the tap-in merchant, it's just you're just going to score goals.
For me, I'm going for Benzema. I think he's like the pause. He's like the oil, the lube to this team. Pause.
Massive pause.
He's the oil to this. He's the oil to this
guy's making your job
engine.
hard.
This
man.
machine. Yeah.
He's the oil to this machine that's gonna just make it run very well. Riley's car is breaking down at, if we're doing 1,000 meter race, Riley's car is breaking down. If I do the maths, take the 2K, the 3, left with 4, take the 9 down. Riley's car is breaking down the 200 meter mark. My car is just flying through, winning the race. I think Benzema is the truth. If Benzema was a wrestling character, he's like the Undertaker, unanimous, Mr. WrestleMania. Benzema's Mr. WrestleMania. He's taking it to the top. He's
This is
winning
the second
everything.
time we mentioned wrestling. We're a wrestling podcast now.
Yeah, we are. But I'm
Changes
just saying,
the
this guy's he's the real guy, man.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
Yeah, for me, it has to be Benzema. I understand Haaland's having
Yeah,
a crazy
definitely.
season. He's Champions League top goal scorer. He's this, he's that. He's broken 9 records. I get it. I get it. But I think Benzema's a better striker. Period.
All round. Yeah, for sure.
But I hear it. You know, a lot of people here mess with the stats, and his stats are unbelievable. Like, I feel like we got to respect that he's done some crazy stuff, because I feel like there's a huge narrative about Haaland that he's not good, he's this, he's that, but his stats are phenomenal. And there's a reason why not many or very few strikers or attackers are going to get the numbers he's getting, or even have the numbers he has. It's a reality. But I think if you're looking at a striker that can play in multiple different ways,
Yeah.
who can kind of benefit the team in different ways, I think you're going to get that from Benzema. He's clutch, as well as he can help the team, and on top of being technically better as well. I think, yeah, it has to be.
Good team.
But I want to look at the other side real quick. Milan derby. Who do we think's going to go through? I reckon I'm looking at AC Milan. I feel like they've got the side.
Yeah.
They've got the energy. I think they're going to take it.
I agree, but have you seen that Leao's out?
He got injured.
He got injured.
10 or 15
I
minutes
did
into
So
the game.
see that
does
the
this
other
make a
day.
big difference, or
Is he out?
Forgot about that.
well, I don't know if they've ruled him out yet, but
But
I did
he
see
came
that
off.
he came off
Interesting.
injured.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a huge factor depending on who goes through with this.
I think Inter, even if Leao was there, I think Inter go through. I think they're just based off, like, they're more in form. Like, the last 5 games they've won, whereas AC have dropped points. They've drawn a couple of games. So I think this run might prove to be the tipping point for Inter. I think, to me, they've got too many players that can win them games. Whereas, to me, AC Milan, not saying they just rely on one player, but they look to him to provide. And like if Riley just said, if he's injured or he's carrying an injury into a game like that, You don't know.
Yeah, Brahim Diaz
so.
is going to have to step up if Leal's
Yeah.
not playing to create and try
Yeah.
and do something. But yeah, it'll be interesting. But quickly to wrap up that Real Madrid segment, the combined team that we picked was Courtois in goals. Left back was Nathan Ake, with centre backs Militao and John Stones. Right back Kanji. That's quite nice. In the midfield, we've got Rodri as a DM, centre midfield Modric, with attacking midfield / box to box KDB.
midfield.
Right wing Vinny, striker Benzema, and left wing was
Vinny.
Right wing.
sorry left wing
left wing Vinny.
Vinny, striker Benzema, and right wing was Valverde.
But not normal Valverde.
Champions League
Champions
Valverde.
League.
Let us make that clear.
Huh? But yeah, that's been Let Him Shoot. Been a little,
Right.
little episode. Bit of a vibe.
Yeah.
Chilling. Life's
Pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Vibes are up this episode. Lot of ball knowledge.
A lot of ball knowledge.
Yeah.
Ball knowledge,
I'm
I'd
keen
say.
for that Champions League though. I
Yeah.
feel like by next week we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
So exciting.
Some new topics.
But yeah, tell them what to do, Riley.
Come on, guys. Remember what we've been doing. We need a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell,
course,
tell everyone
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, we need that 100K on TikTok.
We do. We need it.
We
Get
don't
your
ask
chef
for
on,
much. We don't ask for much. Just
Yeah.
100K.
Just
Simple.
7,000 more people.
Yeah, easy.
Nothing. You guys got this.
Get
Easy.
your little chef buddies on this shit.
Chef buddy.
man.
Get your one-armed chef
Yeah.
friend.
You think he talks to him after he's beat him up?
I
No way.
can't look at him anymore.
Oh, God.